Welcome, rising juniors, to your summer math assignment. The first goal is to understand and master some mathematical vocabulary. Math is its own language, and we'll never be able to successfully answer questions if we don't know what the question is asking us to do. So in this class, we will focus very heavily on mathematical vocabulary. Today, there are 3 nouns you need to master. Nouns are things, right? Objects. The first noun is an expression. An expression is a mathematical phrase. It does not have an equal sign. It does not have an inequality. For example, 2x minus 3. It's like a thought. We don't know what 2x minus 3 is equal to. It's not a function. It's just a mathematical expression. Here are a few other examples. 4x squared minus 9x plus 2. It's a different type of expression, as is 5 times the square root of x minus 3. Okay, so we have expressions, we have equations. Equations have an equal sign. So if I put an equal sign in any of these 3 expressions and put some set of maybe numbers or variables or whatever I wanted on the other side, now these are equations if they have equal signs. It's a statement that 2 expressions are the same or are equivalent. And finally, we have functions. I can make these equal to functions if on the other side of the equal sign is a y or an f of x. So now, these are all functions. Or maybe one is equal to g of x, or h of x, or maybe a p of x, or pat. These are now equal to functions. Now there are 3 adjectives you need to learn that we will use in the first couple months of school. Adjectives are describing words, what they are like, and those adjectives are linear, quadratic, and radical. Linear means you can put it in the form mx plus b. In this example, m, the slope would be 2, b, the y-intercept would be -3, right? This is a linear function. If I took away the equal sign, now 2x minus 3 is a linear expression. This is quadratic because it can be in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay? In this case, a would be 4, b would be -9, c would be +2. This, as it's written, equal to g of x, is a quadratic function. If I had something different on the other side, like equals 4, it would now be a quadratic equation. If I took away the equal sign altogether, this would be a quadratic expression. So would this. Here we have a quadratic expression where a is 4, b is -9, and there is no c. So c would be 0. There are no constants or no numbers all by itself with no variable. Okay, finally we have radical expressions. Radical expressions have a variable under the square root. In this case, we've got x under the square root along with some other things. So this right here would be a radical function. Again, if we take away the equal sign entirely, this is a radical expression. If we replace f of x with a number or a variable, even if we replace it with like 2x, we would have a radical equation. So those are your 3 adjectives you need to learn. You have 3 nouns that you already learned. And now, what can you do with these types of objects? Well, let's take a look at 3 verbs or action words. The 3 most common things you will be asked to do in a math class, in an Algebra 2 or a pre-calc class, are to solve, simplify, or evaluate. Solve is what you're asked to do to an equation. So solve, for example, solve 3x minus 4 is 12. Okay? When you are asked to solve, essentially you are asked what number can I substitute into the variable to make this whole thing true? You guys know how to do this. You've been doing it for a long time. You would get 3x equals 16. Divide by 3, you get x equals 16/3. That is to say, the solution, the answer to a question where you're asked to solve, the solution is x equals 16/3 because 3 times 16/3 minus 4 is equal to 12. Oh, well, that makes sense. 3 times 16/3 would give you 16 minus 4, which is equal to 12. Yeah, that's true. 12 is equal to 12. Okay, sometimes you're just asked to simplify. For example, you may be asked to simplify this expression. 2x minus 3 minus x minus 4. Which means get this expression to be something simpler. So we have 2x minus 3 minus x plus 4 if we distribute the subtraction sign. So now we have some like terms we can combine to make it simpler, easier, more condensed. 2x minus x would be 1x. Negative 3 plus 4 is positive 1. Notice that the answer is not a solution. It's not a number that makes the equation true. The answer is an expression. It's a simpler expression, but it's some mathematical thought or phrase. There's no equal sign anymore. Okay, finally you might be asked to evaluate. The key word in evaluate is value. A value is just a number. So anytime you're asked to evaluate, your answer should just be a number or a value. For example, you might be asked to find g of 2 if g of x is 2x cubed minus 1. G of 2 would then be 2 times 2 cubed minus 1. PEMDAS, order of operations, tells us we must do the cubing first. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So we have 2 times 8 minus 1 gives us 16 minus 1, which is 15. If you're asked to evaluate, your answer should just be a number or a value.